This is the Plantronics Backbeat 810, and in this color, it is one attractive piece of kit in it. I mean, just look at it. And here at Gear Up, we've been recently looking at stylish headphones and earbuds that not only look good, but perform really well for a decent amount of price too. So this is when the 810 showed up on my feed and caught my eye. And also what caught my eye too was the price, and that's when I decided I definitely need to make a video about this one for you guys. But this has one small but crucial problem. The Backbeat 810 is not new. It dates back to late 2018, early 2019. So from a technological standpoint, it's the equivalent of Chia pads or shoulder pads or netbooks. Remember those? Or is it? Let's find out after these messages, but TLDR, I hope you're surprised as much as I was by this one. Unless you already own one of this, then you probably are in the know how good these are. So let's do it after these messages. Alright, specs time. And earlier I mentioned that the price is one of the things that got my attention. Well, the 810 will set you back $60. Yes, that's it. And for that, you get dual mode active noise cancellation with pass-through mode, and the available colors are where it's at. There's graphite black, navy blue, and this one, bone white. This is one of my favorite of all the three. Period correct Bluetooth 5.0 is on board. Remember, this is from late 2018, and it supports AAC and SBC. And there's also multi-point Bluetooth connection. And battery life, by the way, is on par with the big brands at around 22 hours with ANC on, but that's the factory number. I obtained an average of 22 and a quarter hours easy. Also with active noise cancellation on and volume at 65%. The weight is 238 grams, not bad at all. And this headphone also has app support, which we'll check out in a few minutes. Or really, if you can't wait, you can always use the chapters down below. And also below, by the way, is the subscribe button. If you don't know what that is, you're supposed to click it. So smack that button now like it's been naughty. This headphone has some cool design touches, and here's some of my favorites. This pretend metallic gold slider column really pops and adds a lot of character to the whole thing. And it has 11 adjustment detents per side, by the way. Now, the left ear cup control surface, it has this soft rubbery texture that has just the right amount of grip. But only time will tell though if this PU will turn all gooey after a few years. You know that phenomenon that I'm talking about. And I also just noticed this. The controls are not aligned with the ear cup. So let me align this up 90 degrees roughly. And you can see that the controls are slanted upwards. So I'm not sure if this is intentional or not, but it seems like it's angled along with the wearer's head. So when this is on your head, the ear cups are actually kind of sorted this way, and the controls are aligned on a flat plane. So that's pretty cool and thoughtful at the same time. Another cool design feature, let me pull this up. What seems to be at the top here, venting ports. Can you see that? Venting ports that are part of the ear cup pivot point. That's pretty cool too. And here we have the headband, which has a segmented padding. See, one piece, second piece right here. And usually you see padding added to the headband as a whole or over it, but here it's like it's part of it. So the plastic is right here, it ends here, and then it just continues with the padding itself. Maybe the designers figured that having the padding inset into the band would allow it to sit closer to the skull, I guess, thus making the headphone less bulky looking. I don't know, but I think that's pretty cool nonetheless. Overall, the build quality is strong, especially on the ear cups, but not so much as you start moving up. So let me show you this. I know this is an exaggerated movement, but when I stretch this out, you can hear the creaks, and also when I spread this out a little bit too, you can see the gaps happening between the seams of the plastics where they meet here. Now, another area of concern is this point at the peak of the band. When you combine this thinness of the padding or this gap in the padding and what seems like a seam, I'm not sure if you can see this on camera, I'll try to align it, but there's this really faint seam or scoring or something. I'm not sure if it's part of the molding that joins these together or if it was just part of the the production, cut or whatever it is. But anytime you have some kind of line here, it introduces a weak point. And when you combine it with this gap right there, it's just not good news. And I'll talk about this more later in the negatives. Now, in terms of controls, the 810 is pretty darn comprehensive, and almost all of it is situated on the device itself, so you never really have to reach for your phone, for example, to control media. On the left side, under this touch membrane surface, you have the forward, backward track, pause, play, usual stuff, and then if you hold it down a couple of seconds, it activates your default voice assistant. And during phone calls, this rejects phone calls as well. On the side here, we have the volume button, nice feedback, and if you hold both of these down, it will cycle between your active noise cancellation and pass-through modes. On the right side, side, under this, at the bottom of the ear caps, we have this large button where your thumb falls, and each time you tap this during phone calls, it mutes, unmutes your mic. Really, really convenient. And while media is playing, each time you tap this, it cycles between your equalizer presets. I've never seen this, but this is super convenient. And this is one of my favorite switches of all. This is the volume power toggle switch. This is the off position. The LED is right here. If I slide it up one time in the middle, it powers on. But if I slide it up one more time, this is spring loaded. It returns it back to the middle position. It activates pairing. This is one of the quickest implementation of pairing I've ever seen. Really nice and convenient. But once your multi-point devices are set up, by the way, each time you slide this up, it forces it to switch between devices. So convenient. I really like this. Now back on the left side, we have the 3.5mm audio port. And hold on a second. What the crap is this? Micro USB. Walao eh. One last thing I want to note is that I was going to perform the noise cancellation and sound test with my, ghetto hair dryer and lav mic, but because the ear cups lack any kind of axis articulation, as you can see, the only thing they can do is twist, I couldn't give the mic any kind of its usual isolated seal that I would like. So in this case, no noise cancellation test this time. Alright, now it's time for the Bluetooth distance test. And I have some Foo Fighters playing some Everlong on these headphones, on Deezer and high fidelity on my phone right here. I'm going to put it at the end of my deck, and I'm going to walk this way and see when these guys have any kind of cutout issues. These have Bluetooth 5.0, so it should last around 30 to 33 feet before we start getting issues. There it is, the phone, and where I'm standing is around 25, so it's still going strong. And I'm going to walk around to the side of my house. How you guys doing? It's a nice day, a little bit sunny though. It does craziness for my exposure. The signal is still really strong. I still am. Oh, we just got a cutout, and this is around, I don't know, like 38, 40 feet. Pretty impressive. And I'm gonna keep walking. It's still holding on to the signal. I'm gonna keep walking until we get a complete disconnect or some kind of tone anyway. Yeah, I'm really getting close to the road now, and it's still playing. Like, it's no point listening to music at this point. Yeah, I think I can walk to the road here, and I'm still probably around 65 feet or so. And there's a house. My house is blocking the view too, so the signal is still hanging on. Oh, I just got a disconnect. It just gave up the ghost there. And I'm gonna walk back this way and see if these reconnect, by the way, and start playing media. And you can see the fit of these. These are really nice for what they are. I like the color of them, especially if you go with the white ones. They look really nice on my head. So yes, I just got a reconnection, and no, media does not continue, but it's just a matter of pressing play again. No big deal. But anyway, let's move on to the next test. Okay, I'm taking us down to the main road right now to get us some sound samples, especially traffic, and to see how these things handle noise suppression. As you can hear, cars passing by right now. The sound suppression, noise canceling during phone calls. Yeah, I'm gonna keep talking right here. They suffer, right? They just break up really easily and just give up the ghost. And this is so 2019, guys. So bear that in mind. There's only two mics handling the whole business right here. And also, my voice sounds kind of thin and hollow and tinny. Sure, it focuses on clarity, but the lack of intonation might bother some of you. So these are perfectly fine if you're using these in a quieter environment, like in your backyard with dogs barking, kids playing, that's fine. But out here, constant noisy traffic, or if you're commuting, this is just not going to work. And by the way, one good thing though, when you're having phone calls, noise cancellation turns off. So that's a nice safety feature. I like it when headphones and earbuds do that. Anyways, back to the studio. Let's cut to the chase. The companion Backbeat app that you see here is pretty basic. It's bare bones, but the fact that you can get an app for $60 is good news to me, because among other things, you can check from the home screen here your battery life, and down here in the middle here you can turn on active noise cancellation, on, off, high, low, and also even set a shut-off time for each of the modes to save battery. And back at the home screen here, you can even have a swap between your EQs. There's bright and PLT's signature balance, and the signature balance is the default one. And sure, I can't play with any other frequencies, but at least there's two to choose from. Now, the signature balance one, it kind of suppresses the mids and the highs, so if you flip it to the bright though, it really wakes things up quite a bit while still providing enough bass. That's a little pro tip there. And sure, you can say you can perform all these functions on the unit itself, so you might think that the app is superfluous, but one thing that the app does bring, you cannot deny this, is firmware updates. Anyway, there's not much else to the app. It looks good and kind of reminds me of the Amazon Echo Buds app for what it's worth. Now, if you tap the gear icon on the top right, some of the things that you can access on the main screen are here too, but you can also access like things like turning on HD voice right here for HD phone calls for networks that have it. I'm not sure why the 810 couldn't just auto switch in the first place. I guess we'll never know. Now, you can also, down here under battery listen time, you can decide how the app main screen shows remaining power on your headphone. You can switch between either battery percentage or show listening time, your choice. Now, back out here under connections, you can manage your multi-point connected devices. I don't know the max number of connections this can handle, but it's definitely more than 2 as you can see here, which is more than some even high-end devices, which is a lot, saying a lot. Now, the app doesn't mention anything about auto shut off, but on more than 2 occasions I've accidentally left the headphones on without being connected to anything, and after I went back to it, it had already disconnected from the phone and went into hibernation. So I think it does have some kind of auto shut off, it's just not advertised. So here now are my top favorite things about the 810, and the first one of all is the controls. From the scheme to the layout, it's pretty much spot on, and the fact that it's physical controls just warms my heart so much, guys, you have no idea. And one of my favorite switches of all time is this little power button toggle switch, and I'm not sure why other manufacturers don't copy this, but from an off position you slide it up once to power on, and if you slide it up another time in a spring-loaded position, you turn on multi-point, or you just switch between devices quickly by doing that. It's so quick and convenient. I'm not sure why other manufacturers are not doing this by now. So pay attention, guys, this is how you do it.
This is how we do it.
And let's not forget the design. This thing looks good, the color choices are pretty much spot on. You basically had to be blind not to appreciate this. And even blind people probably will hold this and feel this and go like, ooh, the material feels nice, the textures are good, and it doesn't smell like a sweatshop. And last but not least is the cost. For $60, and oftentimes it goes on discount as well, $55, $50. But this thing, you get so much: multi-level active noise cancellation, decent sound, app support. Where can you get app support for 60 bucks, and long battery life, and a really nice design as I mentioned earlier? So you get a lot for what you pay for. Now, here are some of the things that make the 810 weak sauce. And the first one of all is micro USB charging. This is like so old school, guys. What is this, like 2018 or something? Oh wait, this is from 2018, so I guess it's par for course, right? So yeah. Anyways, let's move on. Another negative is the occasional video latency issues, and this happens when I switch between music and then to video, say a YouTube video. There's this slight delay until it catches up, and it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's pretty darn annoying. And this, I've never experienced this on any headphone until this one. And the last negative is the potential of this headband cracking right down the middle. I've seen many users and owners on Amazon reported that there's a split on the plastics right here, because as it is, there seems to be a weak point where this little indentation of the padding meets the plastic and the metal band, and is just asking for trouble. And the fact that the Plantronics don't come with a hard case, it's just a mesh bag, it just weakens the chance, or increases the chance of you just cracking it if you're storing this in your backpack as it is. In a hard case, that would have made it so much better. So this is the classic case of old does not mean obsolete. Case in point, the Sony WH-1000XM3 or Bose's QC35 Series 2. Both of these are relatively ancient, but they're still well respected. And likewise with the 810. And I guess this is also a classic case of going in with low expectations and coming out really surprised, and this is how it is with the 810. And here, I really enjoyed the sound, the noise cancellation, the battery life, the design, the controls, although I'm a little bit wary on the longevity of the build, especially in the headband area. But if after watching this and you feel like you might enjoy the same things that I enjoyed with these Plantronics, definitely check it out, the links are down below. So with all that said, I want to give the Plantronics Backbeat 810 a gear up score of 8.1 out of 10. And this is, by the way, how I broke it down to get to the final score. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Well, there you have it, y'all. Thank you so much for being here, and please come back next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time for a fresh one. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, smash the button down below, turn on the bell notification icon, and if you haven't done so already after watching this, come on, you know you want to. Get me to 50,000 subs. And if you can, financially too, you can visit my Patreon page down here and support me there, and also the same thing with the YouTube plot button down below. Remember to thumbs up if you like this video and comment nicely down below. And thumbs down. Thumbs down to people who drive with high beams and fog lights on at night, even though there's no fog or rain. Yeah, you're gonna kill somebody one day. I don't know why you do that. Are you, I don't know, trying to look for something you dropped on the road that you're driving on? I have a better idea for that one. Just put on a headlamp, just get out of your car, put on a headlamp and look that way. It's easier and you're probably gonna find what you need. Otherwise, just keep those lights off if it's not appropriate. Anyways, take care guys, I love y'all, and remember to do something loving and kind for somebody in the world because it starts with you. So God bless, enjoy your weekend, peace out.